because now that we talked about the company a little bit, I mean, the number one thing we're here to do is talk about your financial freedom and where to get there. So, if you were to close your eyes right now, what would you say is the picture of freedom? What would get you there? What do you think is your financial freedom?
Not being paycheck to paycheck.
That would help.
Saving a little bit for the future. I've got all these things to do today, and we gotta buy groceries. But I understand that retirement's gonna be a little bit down the line, and I gotta start saving for that.
Absolutely. So this is our philosophy that we use at Modern Woodman. We start with your protection, and we'll go through each one of these, and we'll talk about it. Based on what we learned, then we can figure out a plan that's perfect for you and your family.
Very good.
All right.
Very good.
So let's start with two more, right? So we're going to go through basically the table of contents. Is what we do is we're going to go through each one of these: protection, savings, retirement planning, retirement distribution, estate planning. Are you a business owner?
I'm not a business owner. No.
You may know somebody though that we do also benefit planning and employee benefits, and we do all this through our program here. It's very simple. We know that everybody's planning for the future, as you said, but you still have to buy your groceries. You
That's
have
right.
to get, put gas in your car. And if you're not doing all those things, it doesn't make sense to even think about the future if you can't get through today.
That's right.
Again, we're going to help you today with defining your needs. We're going to talk about all your assets and figure out where you're at in your current situation. We're going to create an amazing, affordable plan that will grow with you in the future. We'll help you start a plan and review and adjust as life changes.
Very good. Sounds good.
So, as we talked about, we're going to start. These are all the key areas as we believe that'll get you to the freedom that you need. Obviously, you can say you're a business owner, so we're going to go through all these. You'll have a brief review of everything that we do. Again, as we go, we're going to talk about how we can make it just for you. Because this plan is about you and your family getting to what you need.
Very good.
Number one is always the protection. We believe is the foundation of planning.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that we don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow. Unfortunately, things do change rapidly. We don't know who's going to be here today, who's going to be here tomorrow, maybe a month from now. Accidents, serious illness, or death can change a situation really quickly. The most important part that we need to think about is, where does that put you financially if you're not here? If you're not the breadwinner, where do we go from there?
Right.
Many people live paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, most of us live two paychecks away from financial disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that 7 out of 10 people in the United States with children under 18 live probably 2 months away? If the breadwinner didn't make a paycheck, they wouldn't be able to survive.
Wow.
More people I've talked to is probably more 8 out of 10. It's a scary number, but it's something that we have to be real about and put it there, and that's why we're here today, to avoid all that.
Yeah.
How would your family pay your bills if something happened to you?
Well, it'd be tough. They could probably make it for 2 or 3 months. We don't have life insurance, which is something we thought about, but I guess we just live off of our savings for a little bit. She'd have to go back to work.
So things would change drastically.
Yeah.
And obviously the part of being here and is talk about all these things. What suits you, what's best plan for you and your family. Life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care insurance. Obviously you're not there yet, but it's something we can put in front of you soon, so we can start talking about the whole picture as we do.
Mm-hmm.
This is a plan that's going to get you through life. You said it in your head right there. Why does life insurance is important? Something happens to you, like you said, your wife may have to go back to work. Those are things that we don't want to talk about, but we have to put in front of us. Funeral, final expenses, pay off your mortgage and debts, provide ongoing income for your survivors, as you said. I mean, I'm sure you work hard now to keep your wife from working. Like you probably want to keep that going even if you're not here. That's the whole goal. That's why you work as hard as you do, is to provide security for your family, and that's what we're here to help you with. Do you have life insurance of your own? You said no, right?
No life insurance.
Any health insurance or any other needs?
I've got health insurance through work.
Awesome.
I have health insurance.
Awesome. That's good to know, because health insurance should work. You can also go through those and discuss those at a later time, because it's part of your benefits. It's something we can help you plan and see if you're picking the right one for your family as well.
Very good.
We'll definitely have to come back to talk about life insurance. You know, we said, you know, if you died tomorrow, we already asked that question. You already told me how your life would be impacted. We need to figure out what benefits or how we can make it a plan that fits you and your family. We'll go through that real quickly, and we'll have a plan to make sure to have what you need to take care of your family if you're not here.
Very good.
Alright, savings. Obviously, everybody wants to save money. I don't care if you're making $1,000 a month or you're making $10,000 a month. Everybody wants to save. Most of us, unfortunately, live to the $10,000 a month and the $1,000 a month. So savings is important. There's disciplines to saving. I think one of the things that we know as a company, that saving money does not happen by accident. It takes planning, discipline, systematic savings, commitment, and achievement to goals. It's just something that doesn't happen overnight. You know how it is. I mean, savings can help you handle unexpected emergencies. Take advantage of. You may want to take advantage of an emergency. Are you into cars or anything like that?
Oh, I love cars, especially the old classic ones.
So if you had savings, you'd probably buy a car as soon as you see one pop up.
I sure would.
Yeah, so those are the things we talk about. But we also have to talk about retirement years, getting your kids to college or grandkids to college
Sure.
at this point. So there's a lot of things that we have to do to talk about savings. We can design savings to help you whatever goals you feel you need. Are you saving for anything specific today?
Yeah, retirement's a big one. You know,
Okay.
retirement and then really the kids' college. You know, we got 5 years till Joe's off to college.
Got it, 5 years. So we gotta
5
put
years.
together something to get him to college.
Yeah.
Because that gets higher and higher as we talk about it.
Yeah.
What other saving goals do you have other than that? You said college, retirement.
Those are the main ones.
Those
Those are really the main two there.
Those are main two. All right. We'll figure how to get you there. The key to financial security is paying yourself first. It's something that we believe. We believe that no matter what happens, that you're supposed to set aside 10% or more of your income every month. And what that means is creating a bill. We're going to take 10% of your money and you're going to put it aside first before you pay it. Because usually the way we work is we go the other way around. Pay our bills first, and at the end we're hoping that there's something left to save. It doesn't always work out for us, so that's why we believe on this. Put it away first. That way we can get there. Now you talked about two things that you wanted to to save for. One was your college, and the other one's for retirement. So we have a risk to return thought behind our process. There are many ways to save your money. You can decide what's best for you, obviously, but you know, high risk, high return. So if you're gonna save something long term, you probably wanna go a little bit slower. That way, you know your money's always gonna be there at the end. Now, if you're willing to take a risk, then you go this way. There is a risk in return at everything that we do. We gotta decide which one is right for you.
Yeah.
How do you achieve your goals? The longer you wait, it always takes longer to save. What we discovered is at age 25, it'll take you exactly 10 years later, it'll take you almost 2.5 times the same amount of money to reach if you were just trying to get to 150,000 to age 65. So you can tell, because of compound interest, which is the more money sits in the bank or wherever you put it, the interest just keeps building on top of interest, and that's how you get more money out of the return. You wait till you're age 55, you're talking almost $1,000 a month just to achieve $150,000. So you can tell the importance of starting sooner rather than later.
Sure.
So, again, I'm glad you're sitting down with us, because this is how we can achieve your goals easier, because I think it would be a little easier to save $100 a month than $1,000 a month.
Agreed.
In anybody's situation right now.
Agreed.
How do you feel about your savings right now? How do you feel about the level of them? How do you feel about where you're at with it?
Well, I think we're okay, but we can definitely do better. You know, we try to do the whole emergency fund thing, but then we
Right.
always end up withdrawing out of it to do things, you know. So we've got about 2 months worth of savings.
That's good, you're doing 2 months worth of savings, so you're ahead of most people, because we recommend 4 to 6 months. Because we talk about being secure, and security equals having money in the bank.
Yeah.
for you guys to have too. That's pretty awesome. Now we just need to figure out how to help you get to the 4 and 6.
Sounds like a plan.
What about, are you guys paying yourself first?
No, it's just we just hope there's money there at the end. You know, we try not to spend everything, and that's our savings, whatever's left over.
It's pretty amazing. You have 2 months already, and you haven't even switched yet. Now think what happens when we get you paying you first. You'll get to your 4, 6 months, no time.
Very good.
We're gonna help you. We'll put together a strategy that'll work for you and your family really well. Retirement planning. I know we talked about it. Do you have anything going on right now that equals anything in your job or anything that we can talk about right now?
My 401k.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm saving. I don't even know how much I'm putting away in that, but I've got my 401k. It's done pretty good the last couple of years.
Awesome. So you don't know what you're putting away,
Uh,
but
$100, $200, something like that a month.
does it match?
I think so. Yeah.
We
think
need
they
to just
match.
gotta make sure, we need to figure out how you match so we can maximize that money. And the other thing that we need to talk about, you know, is because the 2 dilemmas that we do face in retirement is first, saving enough money to be able to retire. You know, inflation, everything changes, and by the time you retire now, 20 years from now, it's gonna take a whole different money. And the other thing, we gotta figure out how to make it last as long as you're retired. Nothing worse than being retired and after your retirement having to go back to work.
Right.
Today's retirees are spending a lot more money than they expected. Social Security is gonna be around, if it is around. I mean, right now, they're averaging $1,300 a month. I don't know about you, but it's kinda hard to retire at $1,300 a month right now.
Yeah.
This is on today's money. Now think about when you retire 40 years from now, what's it gonna be like? Pension plans. I mean, not many companies have pension plans anymore. I mean, they offer you a 401k,
Right.
but you're not talking anything else other than that. And, you know, we gotta figure out how to, again, get enough money for you to be able to retire comfortably. Facing risks of healthcare costs. I mean, you see where it's going. It's getting more and more expensive every year.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the older you get, you do need the doctors more and more, so you gotta figure out how to pay those too.
Right.
Good thing we are living longer. I mean, the bad thing is that we still have to pay.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, all of us have to take all those things into consideration, and now Modern Woodman, we take all those factors when we put a plan for you, to create something for you to last. A comfortable retirement would depend on your personal self, but it has to be self-funded retirement plans. And you know as well as I do that your 401k is probably not gonna get you there.
Right.
So that's why we gotta help you get you there through us.
Right.
What are your biggest concerns about retirement?
Well, I don't really know how much money I need. I heard someone say I need like $1 million in retirement. I just don't know how much. You know?
Well, that's the good thing about being with us, is that we can determine what you're gonna need.
Okay.
You know, that's what we do. We'll look at pictures and we'll get it together. That way we have a next specific plan, because a plan is great, but if you don't have a real plan, it's different. You gotta have actual numbers, goals that you're gonna set, everything that in place. That way we can have specific things to work for. We're not shooting for just retirement. We're gonna retire at this point, put this money in, getting this much. So that's the goal. That's what we do. Have you reviewed your retirement plan lately, or I'm assuming no, since you told me you don't know what it's gonna be?
Yeah, I don't really have. I take a look at my statement every, once a month, but that's about it.
Well, we're gonna figure out how to help you with that. And I mean, that's what we're here for, to recommend the best ways to achieve your goals. And we're gonna figure out all the needs that for you and your family to be able to retire comfortably.
Okay.
Retirement distribution, again, just starts, I know it's later, but once you get your money, what happens after that? I mean, unfortunately, if you're not planning correctly, the government can take care of a lot of that money. And we wanna make sure, we wanna avoid that, you know. We wanna make sure that the money lasts as long as you do. We wanna make sure you don't run out of money. A retirement distribution also needs to determine how long, or how and when the best to draw upon your savings. You gotta know when to do it, when not to do it. There's a
Right.
lot of penalties, there's a lot of things involved. We can have offers to guarantee your income for life, and I think that's what sounds like you wanna do.
Yeah, I'd love that.
You know, have money coming in every month, and that's what we need to be doing. Do you have I'm assuming we don't have plans, so we're gonna be really focusing on that. We'll definitely spend some time on figuring out how to get you to your 4 months, and then we're gonna build up to retirement. Estate planning, I don't care if you have $5 in the bank or 5 million in the bank. You have estate, you have a lot of things, and we wanna make sure that if and when you're not here and your family's sure you're taken care of. You have assets either way it goes. You have assets and unfortunately sometimes bills. And once we get you set up with life insurance and all that, we wanna make sure that all goes to the right people at the right time.
Sure.
Everyone should consider themselves with assets. Without planning, the government will really decide who goes everything to. We wanna make sure we don't do that for them.
Agreed.
You know, we're not lawyers, but we do have a lot of contacts that we can get you with to make sure you create a will and get all those things in the right place at the right time. How should I plan my estate? It's a great question. I know that I didn't ask that until I started working here and doing what I'm doing now. Many tools for estate planning. Updating your will. Do you even have a will?
No, I don't have.
Okay. Reviewing and updating your beneficiaries. So anything you do, your 401k has a beneficiary on it.
Yeah.
So we wanna make sure those are updated. Again, we're not lawyers, we can't create a will. It's not like you write it in a piece of paper and it's good after you're gone. You have to literally be able to have a lawyer in front of you and do it. And you can go online and do it, or you can hire a lawyer. It just depends. We'll figure out which way you wanna go and we'll get it taken care of with you.
Sounds good.
Business plan we talked about. You said you're not a business owner, but if you do know anybody that you feel that we can help with, we do help people create a security, because as business owners it becomes a little more complex. There's a lot more to it, especially when you have retirement and, even though you're not a business owner, some people, you have benefits through your job. You talked about that. We can review those with you, make sure you're maximizing everything that you do.
Okay.
Everything that you do get, we can get as much as we can out of it. Next steps, now it's time to start working on the plan. I start asking questions, gonna personalize it right from you, and then from here, we'll sit down and figure out and put down together, plan together to make it work for you.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome, looking forward to it.